Hi, welcome to Porsche Centre North Toronto. My name is Rizkalla, and today we're going to be talking about the iconic 911. To my right, we have the previous generation, which is the 991.2 Carrera S, and to my left, we have the beautiful, newest 8th generation of the 911 with the 992. This is an example of the newest color, which is the Gentian Blue. Gentian Blue is a rich, dark blue color that they've introduced. Along with that, there's also Dolomite Silver, Aventurine Green as well. In regards to the 911s, some of the different cues include things like the front aprons as well as headlights. You'll notice on the 991.2, it's got a little bit more of a curved front end in regards to the hood lines, not as aggressive or sharp. On the 992, they've introduced a little bit more of a sharper front end to the car. Again, it adds a little bit more width and a little bit more of a wider, more aggressive front end. One thing that I really like on the 992 is they've introduced these beautiful pinstripes on the front. Again, gives the car a little bit more of an aggressive look, but it was also done as a tribute to the previous generations of 911s. On the 991.2 had a little bit more continuing feel with that curvature in comparison to the 992 where they've squared it off. Giving it a little bit of a sleeker look overall in the 992 was a key component when it came to Porsche's designers and how they wanted to go about the new 911. Functionality, if you go to the front with me, you'll see there's something unique on the 992 in regards to the performance, and that's the active air-cool flaps. These flaps in the rear over here will actually close and open depending on whether you're driving at a higher rate of speed or slowing down. This is just an example of some of the newer technologies that Porsche have introduced in the 992. So as mentioned, one of the key differences between the 991.2 and the 992 are the wheels. The 991.2 has a square setup where all the wheels on the vehicle are 20 inches. This specific 991.2 is equipped with the Carrera Sport wheels, and they're finished in a beautiful high gloss black finish throughout. However, it has this beautiful silver lip on the edge, which also just brings together the GT silver as well as the wheels that are in the car. You'll notice on the 992 that we have a crossover here. It's got the 20-inch Carrera S wheels on the front and a 21-inch Carrera S wheel on the back. It's a little bit more of a staggered setup. This was something that was previously exclusive to only the RS versions of any 911. However, for the first time ever on the 8th generation of the 911, they've introduced it on the 992 and exhilarating a more balanced driving experience. On the 991.2 with the 911, you'll see it's got a little bit more of a standard door handle that we've had for a while. You simply slide your hands in between, pull when you need to, open the door, or close it, and simply touch to lock the door as part of your keyless entry feature. On the 992, Porsche have also upped their game with regard to the door handle, made it a little bit more flush with the rest of the body, but electronic as well. So as soon as I touch the handles at the bottom, they open up for me, and I'm able to open the door. Once I've exited the vehicle and now closing it, simply shut the door, touch the handle, and they shut for me. In this example, the 991.2, as mentioned, slight differences or subtle differences on the older version would be the light bar not extending all the way through. Beyond that, the actual width of the rear is also a little bit narrower, and again, that was something that was exclusive to rear-wheel drive vehicles within the 911 lineup for the 991.2. The new 992 will now have the rear wide body, regardless of whether you're getting an entry 911 Carrera or the highest version of the model, which would in this case would be the 911 Carrera 4S. They will all have the wider body along with the light bar that's connected all the way through. It's the largest single-piece LED being manufactured by an automotive producer today. With regards to the sports exhaust system on the new 992s, this was something that was completely derived from the GT2 RS, where it got a wider cylindrical feel on both elements of it. You'll see the sports exhaust system is really also part of that width enhancement, and they've split up versus on the previous generation where they're a little bit more narrower together. Whether this was something of the brilliant engineers from Germany and Stuttgart, the slates add up to a beautiful number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, or 992. It's really how you want to look at it. With regard to the sports exhaust system, both the 992 and the 991.2 have beautiful sounding systems. Again, it's a beautiful flat six that's unique and exclusive to the Porsche lineup. That being said, in regards to the 992, it's got a beautiful, more deeper, bassier feel that I truly appreciate. I love the 911 for their sounds. The 992 really fulfills that, specifically when you're driving it. In regards to the interior of the 992, it's changed drastically from the previous generations. One of the most noticeable feels would be the larger 10.9-inch screen, which now has a much more higher resolution in regards to what's being illustrated for you as a driver. Beyond that, the center console no longer has any more of the buttons. They've made it a much more sharper, high gloss finish with these black trim pieces on either side. I personally really like these buttons over here, which you are able to customize and adjust depending on what you want them to do. Things like switching on your sports exhaust system or different driving modes. One of the most noticeable changes on the interior for the 992 would be the shifter. It feels really good once you put it into gear. You're able to put your hands on the steering wheel, and if anything, it encourages you to use the paddle shifters that are located just behind them to utilize most of the power that you're able to get from the PDK transmission. Another big change on the new 992 would be the digital instrument cluster that they've introduced. It still has this beautiful 5-gauge cluster across, which is really nice, as again, it pays homage to the older 911s where it had a lot of horizontal inlay throughout the entire dashboard. The 4 gauges on the sides of the instrument cluster are digital. However, they did maintain having the analog RPM gauge. Again, it's a beautiful example of how Porsche try to incorporate or ensure that there's still heritage and history of the brand, as well as some of the newer innovative technologies that we have in the automotive world today. The steering wheel design on the 992 has changed slightly as well. They've refined the toggles on the side, sort of giving this floating illusion towards the side pieces of the instrument cluster. The central horn also was a little bit more smaller, which is nice. In regards to the sports chrono feature that this specific 911 is equipped with, you'll notice it no longer has a SO or normal mode. Instead, it just says drive mode on it. However, once you rotate the toggle, you'll see on your instrument cluster, it'll tell you what driving mode you're in. Sports, Sports Plus, Individual, and the most recent wet mode. That changes the way the differential works. The power is distributed in a little bit more of an even manner between the rear axle or the rear wheels and the front wheels. Yeah, it's a sports car and you can take it to the racetrack, but you can always drive a 911 every day of the year, no problems whatsoever. As we look forward to the newest generation of the 911 with the 992, a lot more of the newer technologies are going to be introduced to us. And it shows us an example of how much of a timeless machine the 911 is. I look forward to seeing you here at Porsche Centre North Toronto. Come by, check out the cars, and maybe we can even go out on a test drive.